Hey, what's up everyone? Mikas here for We Make Dance Music once again with drum and bass tutorial. This one is still a bit liquid, but it's a bit on the harder side. It's more of a complete track. I'm already at about 3 minutes for the radio mix. I think it's a pretty cool track. I'm really excited about it, so I want to share it with you guys. I have a lot of synths and bass elements, some piano, some filtering. It's much more advanced than what you might have heard before. So let's get into it. If you want, after I'm done with it, you can click on the link below and buy this template on the site. I think this one's going to be quite premium because there's a lot of work going into it. So you can always use the code MIKAS to get half price off all of my products on the site. MIKAS, M-I-K-A-S, WeMakeDanceMusic.com. Let's get into it. So this track has almost 30 channel, 29 now. Some are not quite occupied yet. It's a drum and bass track, 175 BPM. I call it algorithmic because there's a lot of element blending together to create this track. It's a normal drum and bass pattern. We start with the kick, of course. I'm gonna just select a loop in here. Normal kick, and then what I would like to call a supplementary kick underneath. That is on a bit of a different frequency. Snappy snare, of course. Some closed hats, rolling with a bit of a circular motion behind them. I believe this is sent to bus 2 here, which got a stereo delay. That is on the right side 1/8 and a quarter on the left side, so it's a send, so it's just taking it, spinning it around a little bit. It's a nice little stereo effect. Then I get some rhythm at, a little bit too loud here. And I get some other shaker that will come in a bit later, so I will actually move to this part here. And then I set a shaker. Another set of shaker. This one is a bit too loud to my liking. Here we go. I'm gonna mix it a little bit with you guys as I am going through it. I usually would start a track by mixing the drum exactly like I'm doing now, soloing the part, getting into it, listening to the mix, then going in with the bass. Alright, some open hi-hats. Just a reminder, all the elements of this tracks are produced with only Logic and Logic plugins. I push myself to produce a simpler, a little bit harder, a bit more work, but then the workflow is really good, so it's all Ultra Beats, the Logic synth plugin, which is excellent. If you guys don't know and use other things like Machine or stuff like that, this is more than enough to make all types of music, electronic or not. And there's also drummer in Logic Pro, which is excellent. And then of course some nice little tambourine at the top. These I could give them a little bit more juice. I'm gonna check into the EQ here, make sure I got all of the low, and I would give them a little shimmer. Yeah, like that. This is nice. So this is the drums for this track. It's a pretty typical drum and bass drum patterns, you know. I definitely, when I'm gonna complete the arrangement, I will probably add some crashes, some more element that will make the track more complete. Yeah, that's about it. So I think that's a pretty good start. This is a good beat. Let's go into the intro to start with the track here. So I'm gonna start, so you heard the drum already, then I'm gonna read down to the elements I have down here. This I love. So there's a couple elements. One of the things I used in this track that you will hear immediately, there's a super long-tailed reverb, which is this reverb. It's a setup that I've done myself. I call Grandiose. It's a very long tail, super large, really expensive sounding reverb. So if I do this element here with it, you're gonna hear it. I think I use Alchemy for pretty much every single part in this track again. I'm getting really accustomed to this synth, and the more I use it, the more I love it. This is sick. I mean, wow, what a synth. So this is a little bit of a vocally kind of effect, gives some more organic feel. The very important element to this part is this. So this is a piano. So if I remove the step effects, it's just a piano. I mean, it's a nice little piano, but it doesn't have that really liquidy feel. With this it's new in Logic Pro X, I think 10.44 or something like that. It's a step effect, so it's a multiple plugin integration. So you can chain a few plugins in there, and there's some super cool setup. So here's with it. I also added some side chaining and some other effects, some filters, of course. With, without. I mean, it's two completely different things. So, and you can also play with this grid here to change the effect. I like it. You can automate that too if you'd like to. It's really useful to do all those things. So this is one of the elements here. I think I have it's like a bit of an ARP. Create depth, so both together. Just create some movement, you know, into when the tracks start. And then I have this buttercut, so which I wanted to change the intro a little bit while I'm in it. So the key change here that I don't think it's necessary for the very first key of the track. So I'm just gonna make it into a single tone. I think actually I would make it all the way through. I don't think there's a need for this to kick off the track. So this is again alchemy. What I've done with this element is I added the filter. Well, I mean, for me it's an EQ. So what I do, you're gonna see again and again in my work, is I use a simple EQ in Logic, put some automations in there. And you can see the automation here. So the filter is here, it's opening and closing, it's automated. So it starts low, the sound, if it's full, it's this. And I want to leave some room for the sound to evolve. So I start low with less. That's a really nice groove to start with. Then I have another pad here. So this is, I think, just a sub bass. So it's a pad with a big LFO. So listening to that as I am showing it to you guys. So this is only one tone, this is one tone, this is one tone. So I think this shouldn't have a key change in it because we're still in the intro. I don't think it's necessary to really go into more chord progression and melodic elements. So we're gonna keep it monotone. So I'm gonna keep it monotone for the second part here. So we have 16 bars of this. Okay, that sounds good. Here, the drums, that sound good. I have this pad here, which I think is really cool. This is sounded to me a lot like classic Goldie drum and bass pad that remind me Timeless. So if you guys don't know, Goldie, one of the pioneer of drum and bass, which I absolutely love. I used to have the vinyls. So this track is a bit inspired by that. This has got a bit of a rougher edge, but you will hear it. So this pad here, which is really cool, but beautiful. So somehow in the mix it sounds very different, and again I send it to the same Silververb channel here, which actually use a trick on top. So I use a compressor here, so when there is a snare present, it will duck the reverb. So it will not duck the original sound, will only duck the reverb, so it leaves some space for the track to evolve. So when the snare snaps in, it just take more space, so it moved the other elements away. I think it's a really cool thing to do, to sidechain some sends, you know, not only sidechaining the main element, you can sidechain some sends. You can also do some much more complex tricks with the new send routing in Logic Pro. So here we go. So I'm gonna play you the intro and say what's happening here. Got a few drum elements. Oh yeah, I love it. I need to crank it. here we have a little element to introduce, a bit more drum, like a snare before it kicks in. So I'm gonna bring it into the next part. Yeah, I'm excited about this track. I am by no means a drum and bass producer, and I just got into it and I love producing this. It's a very challenging style as a producer. It just brings something in me that's really electrifying. So here we go. Brought in a few more elements in there. It's the same, it's just evolving, take the time to build. Of course, there's a key change in the bass here. And then we're going a bit further in here, more into the main part. So here we go. This pad here, I'd like a bit more volume. Okay, what's happening here? I have my pad going on here, and then I have this main element, which I would consider being the main riff of this track. I want it still to be atmospheric, not to have a big screechy lead. I want it to just keep on evolving. So this here. Again, alchemy, heavily processed, a lot of sand. Again, this and I do have some automations on this one here, so it's filtering to fit the other elements that are moving into the track. Intro effect. We change the part because we're going to the rougher part. So there's a few part of this part here, or that bass here, which I think are arpeggiated at 1/8. So if I remove the arpeggiator, it sounds like this. It's good, but doesn't have enough impact. So this, I'm gonna run you down this part here. This part here, that's cool. Then I have a sub, like a chunky sub layers that you heard earlier in the track. And then I have a slap. So the slap is there to really punch it further. So you're gonna hear it right away. So this, I cut the top end, you can hear it. Not super keen on the top end of that, so I kept it low. And then I have a little bit of the drone on top. The pad is there laying out. So let's hear this part for a second. This is by no means the final product, but this is to showcase where I'm going with this track. So I'm gonna put more work on it. Then I can put it online on midi.com. Again, another super template with no plugins used. A lot of work has been put into it, but I just don't want to use plugins. I want this to be accessible to everybody, so they can realize that what you use to do music is really only your brain. And your knowledge, not the tools. If the tools do the work for you, you're not really doing the work. You should know the processes. You should know how to process drum, mix drum, route drum, do the work. So this is why I'm doing this tutorial, so you guys can get to understand what's happening, get the template, and rock your track. Hopefully, evolve, make something sick with that. I really hope so. This is the whole point of sharing this project. So. Now we're going to move into a little bit of breakdown. It's not such a long thing. Again, the track is not completed. It's in the making. So there's some element that will change. But still, I mean, let's have a listen. Now introducing a little piano here. Really big room again. Then we're going back into the main part. Alright, so that's about it for me for this time. I will get cracking into finishing this track. The name is Mika's Algorithmics. So if you maybe want to get that track, I'm going to put it on Beatport too once it's finished. You can get the template on WeMakeDanceMusic.com and LogicTemplates.com. Can get to remix it. I'm not fussy, not too fussy on copyright. I think it's better to share music these days than to try to own and earn everything. I think if it inspires somebody to make amazing drum and bass, great. If you get the template, make a track, send it back to me, no problem. So until next time, I hope you guys gonna enjoy, and bye. I'm gonna play you actually the entire little track because I forgot to do that.